here where the sternal doesn't take anything. Yes, there's the hook at the top under the ED of rebaited, but it's really sort of like several of the words would have to start with an A, an S, a T, an R, an L, an A or an L from a sternal. Would play through. And he goes for DOP, which scores, and it's going to give him a 50-point lead midway through this game, which is game 15 of the Winter Matchplay from the United Kingdom. He puts down Townman, but immediate hold there, and Townman, although it looks good, is no good. And it's Townsman. You have to put an S in Townman. So fair play for Austin. Good try, but that one was a gamble which hasn't paid off.
Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Jess. How are you?
I'm okay. My fingers are cold because I'm just out playing Pokemon, and I am going to say one thing. Apologies to everyone that was watching the stream. It seems that the desktop audio was muted, so Jerry was talking to himself for a while.
It sounds like a story of my life, Jess.
So, yeah, I'm sure people have missed your epic commentary.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're now in an epic game, actually. 50 ahead for Lewis. Austin has just played Townman. Would you have tried Townman, Jess?
Well, you could be a city boy or a, city girl. Why not be a town person?
Yeah, I know. It kind of makes sense. Austin, I don't know how sure he was of it, but he played it anyway. And Lewis has had it taken off, and so it's Lewis's turn again. He's on the left there with a 50-point lead. Game 15 of the Winter Matchplay. Have you been following this tournament closely, Jess?
Not closely enough, no. But I did some commentary yesterday.
Oh, right, okay.
Yesterday evening, I think. But just to add on to the whole analysis of Townman, we're at the point of the game where, the board is very much focused on the left-hand side. And with the whole dynamics of the board, Austin may have felt that trying a bonus, could really change the game for him, especially after Lewis's 9-timer. It would be quite something for him to claw his way back like this. Similar to how he clawed his way back in the final game of the National Scrabble Championships this year.
Right, yeah, he never knows when he's beaten, this guy.
I mean, scoring never stops for him, does it?
That is what he wears on his shirt.
And the thing is now, Lewis knows exactly what Austin's rack is, and he can plan, accordingly. He knows exactly what he does and what Austin will do after that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, that's right.
Well, unless he completely, blanks out on something.
It might not affect a great deal as to how he plays here because of how the board is at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And I can imagine it's quite a hard decision. He may consider doing something, maybe a bit more defensive, block off the bonus lane with the C somehow. Or maybe he won't bother doing something like that. It's really hard to know what to do, though, just because the board is so tight, and you might score around 10 just to sort out your rack, but that's it. There's no other option, really.
Yeah. He might play big, B-I-double-G.
I mean, he's lined it up.
He's lined it up. He might play cap and pat. I mean, doesn't really seem that much he can do. He wants to keep it as tight as possible because if he scores, he can get a 60, 61, 62, 63 point lead. It's not inconsiderable on a board like this.
Or even having a bonus lead, so a score probably between 50 and 80. You're even if Austin bonuses, Lewis can still retake the lead, you know. He'll have that momentum. And also, any bonus from Austin creates such a, you know, it will create such an opening on the board that Lewis will have first dibs of whatever opening would be on offer. So he might try and make sure he's got the right tiles to take advantage of a potential opening, which we know isn't coming from the next turn by Austin, but maybe the turn after. So he needs to plan like just a little bit ahead.
One thing that might be going through his mind is the fact that he's just seen 7 tiles which don't contain a blank, of which he can't really score with on the next turn. He might, you know, there'd be a bit of a temptation to change on this turn and try and get something decent out of the bag.
Yeah, maybe just leave A or T on your rack. You know, there aren't many A's left, there aren't many T's left.
Yeah.
You know, if you change 5, you're getting rid of all of the horrible consonants. You know, you wouldn't really want to change 7 because that's just too...
risky.
You know, it's just too open to getting really terrible tiles back.
Anyway, he plays big, so he takes that lead, and Austin has had plenty of time to think as well, so he's gone for moaned, which sets up obviously the AMI or the AME hook or other things like amp.
Yeah, it sets up, more importantly, another 7-letter bonus lane.
Oh, captive.
Just like our audience.
Indeed, and a place to play. Whoopee!
Well, 2 places to play now. I think the lane that Austin created, you know, Lewis could just play there because he can maximise his better scoring letters more in that spot. And, you know, at the same time, he'll be able to limit the floaters. And the only bonus lane then available will be the one along the second row. And that's really unlikely to hit a double word square anyway, unless it begins with a vowel. So...
Absolutely, and we'll give counterplay probably back to the triple anyway. So this is a major, nice draw there for Lewis.
And of course, you know, it's not just captive there. There's another 11 bonuses.
Right. Okay.
11,
okay. I mean,
of all things.
Yeah. P and C goes quite well together, especially with a blank, of course. But
yeah, I mean, we've almost got Fratesi in there, so I know a couple of the 7s that come from the 8s. Lewis seems to have lined up Plicate.
It's Plicate and Picrate and they score a bit more.
Now he may be lining up Plicate to make a few more overlaps to obviously triple the C. I would really feel tempted to play in a way that blocks the floaters, the S and the T primarily. Plicate does do that, but it doesn't block the A, and I don't think that's a bigger thing to worry about. But what Plicate also allows is a 7 that ends in a vowel to come down alongside it.
Yep.
And whether that's something, you know, at this point, whether that's something worth leaving or not, you know, you might want to sacrifice a couple of points to try and block off an extra floater and prevent a 7 playing down the side. You know, it's just something worth considering as well. You know, it's worth sacrificing points sometimes for defence.
Yeah.
So a play like Captive, you know, completely eliminates the possibility of a 7 down the side, and it kills off all the floaters for 8s.
Yeah, that's right. He's instead gone for more score. And
who needs to block the floater? Who needs to block the floater? The other blank.
Faye Joas. That'll go down in a heartbeat.
Or half a heartbeat. Yeah, Austin, he seems to he had a lot of consonants, and he's gotten rid of all the clunky ones, but unfortunately, you know, getting rid of clunky consonants won't do him any good.
No. But this sets up a fantastic final 2 games, Jess, because Lewis is not going to lose this game, and he's going to win it by quite a lot, I should think. Which is
would I do it there?
Why not?
Because you can maximise the J by playing it along the second row. Oh, admitted. Oh, it scores the same points. Oh yeah, this one's better.
This is fine. Yeah.
This is better than the other one.
Yeah, this is the way to go. It's both defensive and the same sort of score anyway. So massive lead, 180. My God.
Yeah, from being 50 points up.
I know. If Town Man was okay, he'd be behind.
I mean, it does show you how quickly a game can change, especially based on a phony as well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for Austin, anterior doesn't fit. Unless you could put another A in front of a sternal. It would look a bit like an aardvark then. It's a word. At this point, Austin will definitely know the game is lost, and it's probably, from his point of view, just about minimising the spread, if that's even possible. It's really late in the game to try and even think about spread minimisation.
But that's precisely what he needs to do, because spread could be very important in this tournament. There's no point in trying to get a bingo just to change that dynamic. So very important here for him to just do the right thing.
But especially at this late stage of a tournament, maybe Townman was completely the wrong move. Would you really try something, so late in a tournament where, Austin would have known both blanks were unseen as well. So why would he want to risk something?
Well, yeah. Maybe he just thought it was a word.
Yeah, that's possible. There are worse words to think that are valid in the dictionary.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know what they say, sometimes the risk is greater than the reward. And it's possible that the risk there was just far too great.
Possibly.
But now with 2 tiles in the bag, Austin kind of has a choice. He could try and fish and see if he can draw a bonus, which is going to get blocked. Or he could just try and go for points. And there's not many points on offer either, so... So what's in the bag? It looks like L... R is in the bag. Well, that's no good for Austin anyway.
No, absolutely not. He can't do anything anyway.
Well, he wouldn't know that. He'll see 2 U's. He'll see all these vowels in the bag and go, you know what? If I could draw one of those vowels, get rid of an R, I'll look all right.
Right. He might think he might get a U, rain out, for example, by playing an R. But it's going to be blocked. Even if he drew it, so it's like really it's important here just for him to try and go out in 2. I think that would be his best option.
And that probably will have to be what he does. The only place to really score a decent amount of points is alongside Feijoa's. But I'm trying to see kind of what plays there, and it's not easy. It's really difficult, in fact.
There might be some merit in Latron, Latron, the L applicate.
Why not play something like Roting, just beside Fedjoas onto the G of Wedgie? So making LAR and ISO. It's 22 points. And it may be one of the better scores on the board.
Yeah.
And you're only leaving 2 tiles on your rack, and you should pretty much be able to pick up 2 tiles from the bag, except for like UU and UY, and be able to go out.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we know L and R is in the bag, so you probably can't go out after something like Roting, but
that will give him LARR.
I mean, even if you know the tiles left in the bag, Austin's going to have a hard time working something out anyway.
Right.
I mean, maybe he'll just have to play like the R and the N, making LAN for like 4 points, and then he'll have Rialto and Lant. Maybe that might be his only choice to actually get some tiles that play out. He may also be thinking, what can Lewis do? Because if he kind of assumes, okay, Lewis has got the K and the Y, worst case scenario, Lewis does what? I have no idea what the worst case scenario is. It all looks horrible.
Yeah. Noir.
Found something that fits there.
Yeah. Noir. So he's going to have
the best valuation moves. Yeah. It's not a great pickup, is it? And of course, static player valuating the best moves as just fishing off an R. Not sure, what bonus is coming after just fishing off an R. Between the B of big and through the OC down there in the bottom left of the board, but maybe there's some kind of weird hope somewhere. And I think that the worst part about Noir is that, knowing that Lewis has at least a U, he may as well have the Y and the K. Austin's just created that worst case scenario that we were talking about. He's just given Uke down the side, YUKE. And that will score 30 points. And that's kind of what wasn't possible before Noir was there.
He could even play UKE, setting up Joey on the next turn.
I mean, Uke is almost 40 points. Yeah, I think it's 39. You're not going to... But yeah, Lewis going for the 2-move play out, I think. Yeah. Can't blame him. But, Austin's not going to go out in 1 anyway. So...
Very interesting.
Yeah. And of course, static player, EUOI seems to value with the higher points, so that means this is the best move. Because it gives a YUK, where we spoke about, and there will be other outs as well, somewhere. Without me thinking too hard, KYU and Lark, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So in terms of the tournament, we're going to see Lewis take back most of the spread. So they're going to be tied with 2 games to go, and with Austin having I don't know about a 50, 60, 70 point spread advantage. So it's going to be very tight and very interesting in the last 2 games.
And both players are, of course, no strangers to their own nail-biting ends to events. So, so yeah, at least they won't be petrified.
No.
Well, I'm not sure what Austin's really going to do here. In some ways, he wants to block YUK for 27, but he's going to score like 10 points to do so, really.
Yeah.
And it's kind of not worth it. I mean, I know some of the top players really like to think about these endgames, and of course spread is really important at this point, but do you need your brain power for the last 2 games of the day, or...?
I don't think this is going to take too much brain power out of Austin. He just wants to keep doing the right thing, and that's fair enough. He's got plenty of time. It's unfortunate that he's lost by so much in this game, but he won the last game by a lot, and he's just going to put it behind him. Keep going.
Keep scoring.
Just keep scoring. And keep the mental attitude good. Just plays Jota. So he does what you suggested.
Yeah, it's the best score. Something like Jolt, of course, would take a Y, and that would just be awful. Yeah. So Jota's the best blocking play for the best Yuck.
Yep. I think so. And as you say,
KYU and Lark is the second best.
Yeah.
And of course, statically, KYU just playing out is the best play. Anyway. I mean, that can't be right, though, can it? Because surely Austin can't score so many points here that, because Lewis could play KY for 20 and then stick the U in the end, get an extra 10.
30.
And then what does Austin do?
I think he can score 5, though, which makes it the same or very close. So, I mean, he could just play GUR or something like that, or GUL. Might even have something better. So that's why.
So according to Craig, if Lewis does play KYU, then Lewis is only ahead of spread by Austin by 1 point.
Wow, is that right? Only 1?
That's what he says.
Yes,
can't question the evil budgie, can you?
Yes, you can't. It was 373 before this, and obviously he's gonna win this by an absolute packet. So
landslide.
A landslide.
A mudslide. So, maybe some other kind of slide.
I know. He's certainly on a slide. 1 point. They couldn't get any closer. These two have dominated this tournament, Jess.
Well, there are only 7 words that go in front of slide. So we've got mud and land. And there are 5 more.
Oh.
Just for fun, while we wait for Lewis to play his move. We got backslide.
Backslide.
Downslide.
I think I knew that one.
Got rock slide.
Oh, I didn't know that one, but it makes sense.
Snow slide.
Oh, of course.
Isn't that just another word for avalanche?
Yeah.
And then tail slide.
Tail slide. Interesting.
But if anyone's curious, this is how I like learning words. Just like random 9-letter words that just will never come in useful, but just sound fun anyway.
Yeah, well, it's nice because it's fun.
And for some people, it's more interesting. It doesn't play it. It's just weird. I mean, I guess this does block Austin's 5-point play, but I mean, he has a 4-point play. Oh, and he has that.
Brush.
He has that. I mean,
I think Lewis didn't think of brush, and that's why.
Who would?
Yes, I didn't, and
it looks like Static Player also saw the word Ramal, Ramal. So it's of or relating to a ramus.
Okay, so
something in your body. Where's a doctor when you need one?
Karma. So that was karma, was it?
I don't know.
We'll
what
see.
Evil thing did Austin do?
My goodness. That was a thumping. 599. What a great score.
Yeah, almost 600 as well. Was Lewis trying to get? Well, was Lewis trying to get to 600 there?
Maybe.
Maybe that's what he wanted to do. Just wanted to hit 600. He didn't care about losing the spread. Just hit the magic 600.
A 1,010-point game and total scores. So that's.
Works out pretty well on a clunky constant. Is it correct to play YU over Caillou?
No, as well, it worked out. You gained an extra point because the best player, not Brock, it's Ravel, AMA, where you played the KO.
Oh, I didn't know Ravel. I don't know that.
So Ravel would reduce the spread.
So they didn't know Rammel, which is interesting.
Well, neither of them are doctors, so of course they're not going to know the adjective for a ramus. If you look up ramus, it's like some kind of branch of a nerve or something in your lower jaw or something.
Okay.
If you're going to be playing the next 2 games, sure.
Yeah. But you couldn't play anyone apart from me.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what to do with the because I kept CAPT. I thought about changing the 7, just trying to get a blank, but IE blank. The ideal, isn't it? But it's probably the wrong thing to do. To get the other one immediately, just kill one. It's just townsmen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get Gownsman, townsman, not townman. Brilliant.
So, as we can see, the enhanced scoreboards just in front of us, Lewis is leading the tournament by what looks like 3 spread points.
Yeah, 3. My goodness. There's actually a possibility that the tournament could end up completely tied.
Well, not if. Well, the thing is, we're kind of lucky that they're separated by an odd number of spread right now because it looks like they'll end up playing each other in the last 2 rounds as well, because they're separated by an odd number of spread, they won't tie,
I suppose
which is
you're right,
kind
yeah.
of unfortunate. We want that we want that hype of knowing that the whole tournament could end up tied and we wouldn't know what to do because someone would have to take home the 2nd place trophy.
Oh well, they could just toss a tile and sort of see how it came down, or with an L for Lewis or an A for Austin.
Yeah, throw 2 tiles in the air, whichever one gets swallowed first.
Yeah.
or something awkward like that. But yeah, I'm kind of sad it's not going to end up in a tie. I feel like the excitement has been stolen from me quite cruelly.
Well, it certainly could still come down to the very last move of the very last game. We've got 2 games to go, and it's really going to be interesting. It's brilliant because these 2 are the 2 best players in the tournament, and they're at the peak of their games and everything that goes with it. So this really is a treat.
Yeah, and I suppose in one way, because we know that there's not going to be a tie in spread, both the players know that they'll be fighting for the win, and because it's so close, anything could make the difference. And maybe Austin will think about Townman and regret it. Maybe. I don't know how top players feel like regretting moves.
I think he'll put that behind him, that one. But it did lose him a bit of spread, that's for sure.
And considering how the rest of the game finished up as well, that was probably the very worst case scenario that could have happened after a phony.
Okay, are you there, Jess?
Yep, I'm here. And
So here we go. This is
players are here. Yeah.
game 16 of 17, and it's Austin Shin to start against Lewis Mackay. They're are on the same number of wins, and there's 3 spread points between them. So this is going down to the wire.
And the wire is clearly very, very, very thin at this point.
Very, very thin indeed. Where are you watching this, Jess?
In bed.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got like my own desk bed thing. I'm lying down, laptop on the side.
Are you in London?
Yes, I'm still in London somehow.
Well, I'm in Bangkok, and it's a balmy night. Balmy, that is, with an L. 11:20 here in Bangkok, and we're going to see Austin Shin play first. Oh. Talking of balmy, he's got calmy, which isn't a word.
But he does have nice tiles.
Very nice.
Scoring tiles. And of course, whoever wins this game will have the edge going into the last game, and they'll know how much they are able to lose by as well. So this game is important in terms of how the next game is played and who plays in what way.
So calmy is a word, I understand.
It is,
so,
yes.
Yes.
And,
how is he going to play
I'm sure
it?
It'll get played. I put the C on the star. You know, even with the A there, it's not as large a risk. It protects against bonuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best score, and I like it.
Yeah.
And Austin likes it as well.
Yes, indeed.
Hello, commentary team. It's Mike here. There's 3 of us. My goodness.
Oh, we only need 2 people.
Well,
otherwise, it's just too complicated.
I'm going to claim force majeure because I'm the organizer, so I've got to carry home the ball.
Okay. So Austin's lined up a 7-letter word on his rack, and unfortunately for him, that's not a valid 7-letter word for a start. And the floaters on the board, they're not the most immediately nice floaters you want to be playing through to try and get an 8-letter word. And in fact, Lewis doesn't have an 8-letter word. And now I can imagine he's a bit stuck. Oh, he would be stuck, except he has double doubles on offer.
Yes. So what's that? Germing?
Germing and Gorming. And I mean, you would want to do Gorming, because you keep the E. But the thing about Gorming is that Z hotspot, J hotspot, general high scoring consonant hotspot.
Yeah.
And when you put an E there, it's not. It's not as bad.
He's still going to do.
He's still going to do Gorming.
Yeah.
These guys are putting vowels next to coloured squares, and they don't care.
44 points. Very nice.
Yeah, now Austin's he didn't pick up the greatest thing after Kami.
No, he didn't.
Not the nicest selection of letters.
But he can score. AWOL is nice here.
Yeah, AWOL is nice. Ideally, I think he'd like to get rid of both the W and the S. Oh, +5 for Gorming.
That's interesting.
Doesn't sound like it should be a verb, does it, Gorm?
No, it doesn't.
How do you?
Or wifey. That's probably one of the better scores. It just uses the...
wifey. That's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, and it's quite hard to play along both the left and the right side. So scoring points and not being so aggressive is always a good thing. And Gorm is a variant of Gorm, G-A-U-M, which is a verb, which will explain why Gorm is a verb. It means to smudge or smear.
Okay.
Oh, this looks fishy.
Coddiest.
It looks fishy indeed. Very, very fishy. So fishy that it's not a word. And it's been allowed.
And hang on, it's not been challenged.
Yeah, that seems really weird. You know, both of these players should know whether Coddiest is or isn't in. Just based on the fact that they're really good players, they will have studied the eights of this probability as well, unlike people like me, who don't study eights at all.
Does it not give hope to the rest of us that these people, that Lewis and Austin can actually make mistakes?
Yeah, and they can definitely make mistakes. Just not as frequent or obvious or expected as the rest of us making mistakes.
Anyway, he's got outraise Sautoir.
He has.
Oh,
Yeah, and Austin's resorted to fishing now, which is kind of what he has to do with this rack. All one pointers, too many vowels. You know, keep the floaters over.
I would say outraise Sautoir leaves the E far right 9 times.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Sautoir's too volatile. Go for the defensive one. Or the less aggressive one. However you wish to view that kind of play.
Well, bear in mind that Lewis has to win this game, and he has to claw back some of the spread.
No, he doesn't. He's only ahead by 3 spread points.
Lewis is ahead.
Yeah, so...
No, I mean overall in the tournament.
Yeah. We know that. Lewis is ahead by 3 spread points total. That's it.
Oh, I see, right. I missed the last game, so...
He was thrashed. Austin was thrashed.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so for both players, really... For both players, this game... If they win this game, they go into the next game with perhaps more of a psychological advantage more than anything, because they know how much leeway they have with regard to this the final game. Whereas the loser of this game will end up, you know, knowing that they have to win the final game by a specific amount, and
wow.
And they know that the other player will be stopping them from doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. Thanks for bringing me up to speed. I had no idea that Lewis won the last game. I was busy.
So by using my magical electronic devices, I have managed to determine that Austin does have a playable bonus.
Okay. Right. Let me have a look at it.
And he's seen it.
Yeah, lovely. Yep.
Very nice.
Very difficult to find as well.
It's not the first place that you'd look, but you've got to think what the rack goes with, and once you do that, he's going to find it. But interesting.
It's where word knowledge, word learning comes in, because he would know that panties with an A is a stancia.
Gets a blank 2.
Yes, my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this game could swing back in Austin's favour.
Mm.
And Lewis is unfortunately sat staring at a rack with no 7s and no 8s. So now he's got to choose, really. Does he want to fish? Play off 3 tiles, score about 15 points maybe? Or does he want to start trying to kill off some of the floaters, kill off some of the openings that are on this board?
I'd say play AUE off the bottom of Gorming.
I'm not such a big fan of that.
Well, I don't like. I wouldn't like to. What else is there really?
I'm thinking about it, and I'm sure Lewis is thinking about it as well.
OUE would be the 3 to get rid of there if he was dumping. Maybe just even OU, but that's not ideal either.
Yeah, definitely get rid of more than OU.
Yeah. I think there's merit in AUE.
It's just that O. Lewis is probably thinking there must be a way to get rid of, another one of those tiles he doesn't want.
He goes for it.
So, which side of Gorming? AUE that side or AUE the other side? Is there any?
AUE that side, it's more defensive, and it limits the DDI of this fishy word a bit more.
Non-ages goes down.
Yeah,
we have a very close game.
And it doesn't score 90 points, so I'm kind of upset. With the non-age being, 9 or 90, and there's no 9 in the score, oh well. So now Lewis is behind after his great start.
Amazing.
Especially getting away with a bonus.
Yeah.
And immediately he will be drawn to that triple. And he'll be looking to really maximise his K, get some points. And immediately, I'm not seeing anything that is too spectacular. Nothing spectacular parallel-wise. And
the OU, no, don't like that either. Ugh.
He's lined up Kudo, and I think Kudo is a good shout. It's got by far the best leave. ERS is great, and 34 points. You get some overlaps.
I think he deserves a kudo for that.
Yeah, but no more than 1.
No.
And statically, it does come out as the best play. Statically, Quackle likes Doet for 35, but your priority is here to take the triple. You don't really want to not take the triple here, especially considering, how heavy scoring any play really along that triple can be. You don't want to risk your opponent scoring 50 points because you kind of wanted to do something a bit flashy. And Austin's lined up hype. Austin's feeling the hype.
He could just play Hay and Hire and Oi.
No, he'll play hype
Big score.
along the triple. That's just too many points.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Too many points to even think about turning down.
Yeah. Good point.
And I mean, I think you take the triple all the time here. Of course, Quackle's seen Haya, where you said Hay would go. But of course, Haya is slightly more points. I mean, the leaves are as bad as each other, but you go for hype because, you know, you're blocking the triple. And
that opening though is not particularly dangerous, sort of to give away, whereas the double in the middle are a fantastic little dumping ground for big scoring vowels for consonants. So you know, Lewis can take advantage of it.
It's very interesting that he's got Siluroid.
Oh yeah, okay, nice.
but I can imagine Lewis has seen the possibility of these great overlaps.
Yeah.
And he may be thinking, okay, I need a 5-letter word, you know, and maybe I can end it in ER.
Yeah. He's going to leave one D with Hay.
Yeah.
He's gonna leave one D, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure it was possible to play ending in ER there, unfortunately. But Lewis got close, but not close enough.
Don't you just love getting rid of junk like that?
Yeah, it's the kind of rack
Yeah.
where if the right floater isn't there,
Yeah.
you're really
all or
unfortunate.
All
And when the right floater is there, you're really fortunate that you can score so much with rubbish.
Porridge, that's a good one. That's a new one.
And sadly for Lewis, he's now facing a 57-point deficit, and the R is just in the wrong
Just in the wrong place.
Just in the wrong place.
Dear. If it had somehow been one up, you know, the Siluroid one up, then we would have seen Proverbs for a huge score going double, but oh dear.
Yeah, but no doubt Lewis is gonna take the triple here. With either he might even I think he's lining up obs, which may be the obs play.
It's nice, isn't it? Sets up a
it's-
line holding PERS.
Yeah, and with Lewis being a bonus behind, you know, obs is starting to look like a much better choice as well, just because you're taking out the X and the Q spot with that V, creating another lane that really isn't going to get used. You know, you're not playing so many tiles, so there's still going to be,
Absolutely.
you know, you're not emptying the bag faster.
This is a great move, Jess.
Yeah, it's just a great move.
Did I miss saying the obvious, the obs move?
Yeah.
No, I said that.
Oh, you said it. Okay, sorry.
I said it.
It's not often somebody gets in before me saying something like that. Okay, well played.
That is a beautiful move.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate pickup for Lewis, but you know,
Right.
all those E's. But it's Austin's
Yeah, but-
turn, and he's got these really high-scoring consonants, and he's got that Z hotspot he can't use yet.
Shame. Why?
And yeah, this J as well. He'll want to get rid of one of the J or the Z here. Ideally, he wants to keep the Z in case like he picks up something that goes there. I don't know what goes there. I'm trying to think of what goes there, and that U is making it very difficult. I don't think anything goes there, actually. except for like Moz, with the like trying to think of Z players that may fit, and and I, it's always worth like, so if you want to save a Z for like this kind of scoring spot, fine, but you have to work out what goes there as well, how likely it is you're going to pick up something that goes there, and it's not a very good spot considering nothing kind of fits. Yeah.
Jet and Git probably. Jet, we Git.
Yeah.
M3.
Craig's pointing out the other Z hotspot, using the double letter squares. That is a lot more flexible. And
he's going to take it. I don't blame him for taking it here, because it's so hard to sort of play the J elsewhere and fish for a word with the Z.
And keeping the E back.
Exactly.
And he's picked rubble. Never mind.
No, he hasn't. He's got Les.
Well, still not. A vowel would have been very handy.
Austin doesn't need vowels. He just needs to score. He just needs to make sure that Lewis isn't going to bonus and that he's not going to get too far ahead that he can't peg him back. That's it. That's all he has to do.
We might see Lewis... Sorry, Jess.
Austin's sitting there with an almost 50-point Z play next turn as well. Austin's not going to care that he's only got one vowel. It's likely not going to get blocked either. So
I think they're going to see him play PEE next to W here, setting up epee, so two bonus places.
Yeah, and opening up a second bonus lane is pretty important for Lewis, especially as he doesn't want Austin to block one and then they go around just blocking each other. Opening, blocking.
Exactly.
Blocking. This way, Austin can't block both at once. And considering how great a lead Lewis
he should
has...
bingo to this rack, he should do. It's been a bit...
Yeah, he's been unfortunate. And he's got lots of bingos. There must be like 12 there.
You have to remember also, there's still the blank and the Q out.
So Les goes down in a heartbeat, and it's just a question here of what's the best play.
Which one does Lewis play? I mean, which one of them not? Which one does he want to play? He's lined up Stead. He's lined up Arizurst. He's going to line up all of them for us. I'm going to be so disappointed. Since there are only 2 lanes to play through, it's a case of which lane does he want to take, and then which bonus does he want to play. And the decision would be much easier if he only had 1 bonus on his rack. And because he's got 9, he's now got to think of which letter he wants to put where. Which tile does he want to leave floating? How does he want to leave the triple access? There's so much more to think about when you have lots of bonuses. And I feel like his priority is using the epee hook. Just because it's a scoring spot as well. Austin doesn't need a bonus to score 40 points there.
No,
and it's his priority to go there. Yeah, and as Craig points out, there's only 3 vowels in the pool now, from Lewis's point of view. 2 A's and an E. That's that blank. And there's Q, V, X, W.
Ouch.
His next rack could be very, very, very bad.
It's intriguing. If he fails to pick up the blank, Interesting.
Austin is very likely to win this game.
Yeah.
Well,
And the big worry as well is that the queue is almost unplayable on this board. There's a couple of places to play off QI. There's the U of Siluroid that's available, but to play the queue, you need a lot of vowels as well, usually, and that's.
This pickup is going to be crucial.
There are now 3 in the bag, so.
Whoa! And the X is out as well.
Ooh.
Ouch.
So yeah.
That's kind of good news, bad news time.
Yeah. Austin's probably worried that the blank is still out, and equally worried that he could be the one that draws the queue as well.
That is a kick in the teeth for Lewis.
Virtually any pickup was going to be a kick in the teeth. I thought on
well,
that.
He stood a chance of actually getting a decent pickup there.
The only pickup that Lewis really cared about was drawing the blank. By not drawing the blank. He's now worried that Austin's got way better letters. Maybe Austin's going to play a bonus. He's going to, take it off easily, bit easier. Austin's going to kind of run away with this game how Lewis ran away with the last game. And because Austin knows that there's only one vowel in the pool from his point of view, he doesn't want to play off his both his vowels in one go. And Austin needs to try and score some points. I'm contemplating playing just VAW through the A of Aridust.
Yeah, did you say V? Yeah, definitely.
VAW. You leave 5 really great letters.
Yeah.
You leave 1 tile in the bag. You leave yourself with 80, and there's 2 queue spots available, so you're not worried about the queue. You know that Lewis is not going to bonus anyway, and I think only good things can really happen by playing VAW. And if you draw the blank, basically, you're fine.
Very nice. That's what he's done.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't draw the blank, he's just rubbish at picking tiles.
He's got 2/3 chance.
B, black. There we go.
Bingo. 2 places to play. Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's not going to get blocked. And now Lewis knows he's gonna get caught with the Q. He's going to get caught with the X.
I can't believe that he's actually drawn the blank there.
Yeah.
Monsterly bad ending for him.
Almost as monsterly bad as the previous game.
Turns out to be a majorly good move.
Yeah, we've got some good words here coming up. Fax and Ox.
QUARTE.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 points is a bit better.
Yeah, that'll do.
I think Lewis has seen that and he's lined it up. And he must just hope at this point the blank is the last one in the bag.
Yeah.
The tile tracking on the right of your screen is wrong, I think. Oh no, it is right. There is an N in the bag, of course. I'm so confused what's in the bag right now. This is why I shouldn't be playing. If I can't work out what's in the bag, No good.
1K. 1K.
Oh, Cat and Tepe.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
that would be the best. But you know you're not going to win, and you're just you're just not fortunate that Austin drew the blank. And Austin's going to pick up 30 from Lewis's rack as well. So not only does he have like a 75, 80 point bonus, he's got an extra 30 on top of that in terms of spread. And in a way, could you maybe think about, okay, maybe it was the wrong time to play Aridust. Would you have just gone for Aridust, knowing that the pool was so lacking in vowels, that you were probably going to get caught with the Q and the X, or would you just say play off the D and kind of think, well, Austin might play some more tiles, he might get stuck with these complicated letters. I'm going to have a bonus, I'm going to empty the bag, have like 2 tiles. I'm not going to get stuck with things.
The thing was, the thing was, Ellie Z didn't really indicate what sort of rack he had.
You
couldn't really tell. So, so I think Aridus was right because of what you said about there being a scoring potential with the final E on Epee anyway. So I'd say why not? He had to try. He had to try that and pin. Just hope for the best. I think.
Yeah.
Vor was so good.
Lewis had
was so good.
Yeah, and Vor being the perfect move for that scenario as well. Also maximizing spread.
Which is so important because this has given him like nearly 100-point lead, which means he can now lose the last game by a fair amount.
Yeah, because the scores were within 3. Lewis probably needs to win by
48, 47, something like this.
90 something.
No, they're playing each other, so it's only going to be about 40.
No, because they're playing each other. So Austin's won by 100, Lewis is down by 100 again. There's 200 between them now.
No.
So.
Okay. Yeah.
So stop confusing yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
The margin of this game was always going to be the margin of the next game as well.
Absolutely. So.
So it's about 98, 99.
Have 100 to play with. Yeah. That's right. 100.
So yeah, Lewis's target for the next game is win by 100. And that's all he's got to go for.
Regoing is good, right?
Yeah.
Didn't fit, obviously.
No.
Germany? Oh, no, not Rico.
German's good as well. Yeah. You could play a slightly better player. Cat there.
Oh, right, that's nice. I guess did he have his wanking before?
No, he didn't. He kept
I guess he's fairly safe there, so I can't.
Yeah, because the bag that one seeing so bad that.
So he needs to
Yeah, he's got basically got a free shot at the blank. He doesn't pick it, but doesn't make damage to it.
Yeah.
You're not the glove, so yeah. So he's got a free shot at it. Let's see what that does.
Yes, I know. I've been told. I'm sure I've played it before actually, but maybe the same thing happened.
Beast of an arse rack. Considering what was out there.
Yeah, but for like 12 as well.
This is sort of like all those points at stake just for choosing one different meta.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary. That's really good. It's good to watch.
If only notwithstanding.
Indeed.
Oh wow, we have a half an hour break. Oh, that's so long. But as we could see by the standings, Lewis is behind by 195, which means he needs to win by 98 to clinch the tournament. And yeah, if only that last game was a tiny bit closer, maybe this last game would be even more nerve-wracking for the players. But Austin has quite a big cushion. And but who knows what will happen in that last game? But of course, the next game will be the fight between first and second. So we'll see you guys in half an hour, where the fight to win the tournament continues. So it looks like these two players are just about to begin the final game of the Winter Matchplay, and if you haven't been following, where have you been? Austin is leading 14 wins with a plus 1104 spread, and Lewis is second, 13 wins plus a 909 spread. So if you could do the maths really, really quickly, or you're just like me and reading it off the screen, Lewis needs to win this final game by 98 points, or Austin will once again claim a title over him.
Right, I'm back.
And Lewis has he's drawn some good letters to start with. He needs a bonus, and he needs a bonus early. His first two letters were ES, and the rest of it looks like Swamp. And he could open with Swamp. You know, he doesn't need to keep two S's. All he really needs to do is make sure that he keeps scoring and, you know, tries to build up as much as he can this 98-point gap that he needs in order to win the tournament. And he opens with Swamp like the Verti he is. Can't argue with 30 points. And unfortunately for Lewis, you know, Austin's sitting there with a bonus. It's going to go on that S. And he's going for Ringles. And this is exactly what Lewis didn't want.
However, it does rather open the game up. So this could be another slugfest.
As I was saying, this isn't what Lewis needed because Austin has now taken a 60-point lead.
Indeed.
And Lewis has somehow got to score, you know, 150 points, you know, he needs to win the tournament. You know, priority is win the tournament before winning this game, even though he needs to do both. And yeah, you know what?
Silver lining to the clouds. Yeah.
What Lewis doesn't want is Austin getting points because Lewis needs those points. He needs, you know, the sooner he can build up the lead, the sooner he can protect against it. And if he's constantly trying to fight to score enough points to you know, get that lead that he needs, he's not going to have much of a chance at winning this game or winning this tournament. But Lewis does have a bonus. He has Scotty and Coteyes. Coteyes does fit nicely under Swamp, as does Scotty. There is no double-double. There is no 8 that hits a triple. No double, you know, no other double-double through the M or the H. So Lewis is going for perhaps the highest scoring, perhaps the slightly more open and aggressive as well play of Scotty. And because he needs so many points, he needs to be open. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to win this game by a lot of points. As I'm sure is going to be repeated hundreds of thousands of times during this game, because with the tournament victory on the line, you know, that's the only thing these players want at the end of the day. They want to win the tournament and win all that lovely monies. So Austin taking out some of the floaters of Scotty here, taking out some of the scoring positions, cleaning up his rack. You know, everything he wants to do. All he cares about is not losing this game by 98 points or more. Austin doesn't care how it happens, just that he wins.
And confining the game to the bottom half of the board, bottom right-hand side, it's actually more defensive that way as well. Lewis wants to open it to the top left if possible.
But of course, all Austin cares about. Wait, what? All Lewis cares about now is trying to get bonuses. I mean, he's got the Q and the X, and that's not very good for bonuses at all, really.
Well, so, he's got 50 points straight off Q, OX, QI, TI.
And Lewis may consider taking those 50 points there, despite the fact that it will leave his Q, really hard to be played. And he's played Oxy, and that does get rid of an extra tile. It's only 6 points less. It gives him an extra shot at drawing a U, drawing a blank, drawing the letters he needs to be able to score much better with that Q. And of course, the triples are now hard to take. But all of Lewis's efforts are in vain. He's drawn a J, his rack looks worse, and Austin has lined up Dirigent. And, even though Lewis has a small lead, it's not a big enough lead yet, and Austin is going to make his tournament dreams fade away into nothing.
Very poetic.
It's a final game. Poetic
Nice.
boldness,
Yeah. Okay.
It has to be done. And of course, Dirigent also blocks out. It kills off the double while creating another one. The eye is not really useful. It gets rid of 3 floaters in one go while providing more. And, all Austin cares about is that his own scoring never stops. Because as long as Austin keeps scoring, and in theory, as long as Austin scores about 400, 450 points, he should be fine to win this tournament. And now Lewis has got a tough choice with this rack. He's got the Q, he's got the J as well. There's no real great scoring places for either of them.
Well, QIN. QIN or QIN off Dirigent, or QIN at the top of Dirigent, whichever.
Preferably QIN alongside Dirigent.
Yeah, I think so.
DI. Because it just gets rid of that extra tile, and it's another opportunity to draw a vowel and the blank.
Yay!
And yet again, Austin has got some of the tiles that Lewis was hoping he wouldn't have. He's got the Z, and the Z is a really, really great scoring tile. But Austin doesn't need the Z to score this turn. He's lined up Leven, which goes along the bottom row, making Ion. And what that does, while scoring, 33 points and keeping the Z, you block out probably one of the most dangerous bonus lanes on the board, just because it would score about 70, 80 points there. And Austin
and the lovely hot spot for an OE dump for a good score.
33.
Dumping vowels at this point isn't a priority at all.
Well, indeed.
Or whatever, really. You should be worried about OE going there at all.
Indeed, but at some stage it could be nice.
It's something you don't even consider about at this point. Because all Austin cares about is scoring. If his opponent's fishing, as long as Austin's not behind by 98 points, he's not starting to worry.
Right.
And you know, Lewis is still not close to a bonus. It's 25 points behind. You know, half of the game's gone, and this tournament may slip away from him. Even at this, you know, we're still in the middle of the game, but you know, with the tile pool diminishing, and Lewis needing to score, you know, over 100 points on Austin, might not happen. And yet again, there's nowhere really great for the J. There's nowhere for a nice, easy 30 points.
No.
And once again, Lewis has got a tough move choice.
Omar and Tav. It's not very nice. Doesn't really get rid of the J, but
It would be better to just play HM in the same spot.
of course,
CHE.
yeah, spotted.
That's much better. You're not playing as many tiles, 30 points.
Yeah,
You're
didn't
keeping
see
the
it.
balance.
Yeah, would have been nice to have got rid of the J, but
Yeah, but it's just not going to happen on this board. Lewis wants to maximise his opportunity with the J, with any scoring tile really, and it's just really, really hard at this point.
yeah, HM's a good shout.
And Lewis does see and you know, hopefully he's going to get a decent pickup. And look at that, Austin's just gotten another 40-something points with the Z for Crans.
And the K as well. Lovely.
But all that matters is that Austin is keeping on scoring. That the floaters are being blocked. Lewis has got horrible racks. There's no real opportunity here for Lewis to build on a lead at all. And I think even at this early stage that the tournament has slipped away from Lewis. But, you know, the winner of this game is still in the balance. You know, Lewis could get second place and still win the game. So Lewis, once again, will think about how to maximise this J, how to score some points.
Gene and Jin, possibly. 5C.
I don't like the leave of that too much.
No, nor me, but hey, or just JAR.
JAR's okay, but you don't want to block the floaters. You want to keep the floaters open. You still want to give yourself even a slight possibility of winning, and to do so you need to keep the floaters open.
I know. Sometimes needs must.
A lot of the time it's more of like a lesser of two evils kind of play. You don't like doing plays like this, but you know, you see nothing better, and that's the worst part of it. Because you see nothing better,
As is life.
you hate going for it. And you know, Lewis did in fact go for it, and Austin is sat here wishing that Q was a bit more in the open. But Austin probably doesn't really care that his rack is you know, AEIOUSS. You know, he's got the S's. You know, those are S's that Lewis doesn't have. Even on this board where S's aren't really useful, S's are great for bonuses in general. So, and just hooking things, scoring some more points. And Austin seems to have lined up away.
There's a lot of E's out, so how about OE, Yet, and Dot?
He's not playing enough tiles. Austin wants to empty the bag faster, just because it gives Lewis less of an opportunity to get a lead and build on a lead. You need to be playing more tiles here. You need to be playing 4 or 5 tiles. Even if it's 12 points, 15 points.
That's an interesting move. Good valve dump.
Yeah, it's a good valve dump. It's one of the better skills that he can have on this board. It takes out some floaters. The board's a lot more closed now. He has played the 4 tiles that I said he needs to do to empty the bag slightly quicker. And all Austin's drawn one of the blanks. Yeah.
Bugloss. Bugloss, the planter, flower, I think. A bugloss. Not that it will fit in.
I thought it was just a loss of bugs.
No, a bug loss. Oh yeah, it could be. My goodness.
I mean, doesn't everyone wish their computer could lose bugs?
No, I don't think so. Entomologists wouldn't, do they?
Yeah, it's poor etymologists. But anyway, Lewis has got a bonus. He's got retabled, and that doesn't seem to be a word.
I don't think so, because retable is an altarpiece. It's not retable; it's a retable.
It looks like it's been accepted by.
Wow, there you go.
This could be Lewis's ticket back into the championship.
That's where knowing words and knowing word pattern, that's the difference. I know that a retable is a church thing. Not that I'm religious, it's just I happen to know that.
Yeah, and because it looks like the word retable.
Yeah, exactly.
How you table again, I've no idea, but
indeed. Well, you don't exactly. So it's like like a French faux ami.
Yeah, and Austin seems to have faux on his shirt, so.
He does. My goodness. So, Bugloss, will it go? No.
Not that Austin cares. He's holding the blank. A 40-point deficit. He's only going to start worrying if Lewis gets another bonus here.
Mm-hmm.
Or starts building on that lead, and he's not holding anything. If Austin's not holding anything to score with, that's going to be more of a problem than being behind in this game. So the only 8 that Austin could play is sub goals, and the right floaters aren't around for that either. So Austin's just got to keep scoring, keep playing 4 or more tiles. Maybe consider just playing globs.
Mm-hmm.
Beside retables on the left. It scores points, gets rid of 5 tiles. Not much of a scoring possibility now. The G is a rubbish floater. Everything. It does what it has to do to try and put this game out of reach.
Well, what about shout out for blobs? Actually, looking at how many S's left, see, he could actually play blob. Blob.
There's still a blank unseen. Austin's not going to do something that stupid. But Austin doesn't need to open.
Oh, there is. You're right. Sorry, it's me thinking that was the one on his blank. You're right. So just blobs.
No, not even blobs. Austin doesn't need to put an S in the open, because the thing is, if Austin puts an S in the open, Lewis can get an 80-point bingo with what's left. There are 2 Fs on the scene. Lewis could get something really good, and I almost prefer globs a bit more. I don't know. 24 points, a 6-point sacrifice.
Yeah, but he's got blank and an S and E on his rack, so
Austin doesn't need to bonus though. He just needs to make sure he doesn't lose the game by 98. So, and I think globs does more of what Austin wants than blobs does. Of course, with Austin holding the blank, he's probably thinking spread as well, not that he has to, or even game victory. And I just don't think that's really necessary at this point. Just win the tournament. You know, not that I can say I've ever been in this position. I suck at tournament Scrabble. I have never won a tournament. So yeah, I would probably be super duper defensive if I ever managed to get to this position. But when you're trying to win a tournament, sometimes you've got to be overly defensive if you know that you've got such a cushion.
Well, not necessarily. I think it's a good analogy in football that if you can be defensive, and then when the other team's tiring in the second half, you can win on the win when the game stretches out. So I think it is possible to be defensive and then open.
Now, Lewis has opened a 9-timer.
Yep.
And it's kind of unfortunate because I think Austin has the 9-timer.
Yeah, flaggers.
And that's this game and this tournament over. GG, guys, GG. You know, that backfired spectacularly for Lewis.
Stuff happens.
You know, I bet Austin was out there hoping, if only Lewis could put something between two triples, and you know what, he goes and does it.
I think he had to.
Yeah, it was getting so late in the game. The 9-timer really was Lewis's only way of getting the lead that he needed to win the game, and unfortunately, it means now, you know, everything is gone. The game win gone, the tournament gone.
All is lost.
Yeah, all is lost, and you might as well just sit there moping.
Yeah. Oh God. Good mope.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a good mope. And, you know, Austin doesn't care. He's won the tournament. He could chillax now. Sit back in his chair. You know, party on like it's 1999 again. Yeah. All of those things. And Lewis is probably thinking, what the F just happened?
I'm sure he's done it to other people in the past, so that's the way it goes.
But maybe not on camera.
Well, I think we've given him a reasonable amount of sympathy. Austin has had the better of the letters, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Can you turn down the volume, please? I'm hearing feedback. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it was going to be tough for Lewis to win with us, knowing that Austin was, you know, he was holding bonuses. He was getting everything he needed to pick up to stop Lewis winning the game by so much.
When you're playing to a target that you've got to beat somebody by, I think you probably play differently to what you would normally. And I think if Lewis had played his normal game.
But it's also the way the tiles have flung themselves onto each player's rack. I think Lewis would have probably opened with Swamp anyway. He would have probably played Cock Eyes over Scotty, but definitely knowing that he had to win by such a large amount will definitely have changed how he's looked at this game and how he knows he needs to play the game.
Exactly, but by playing in that way, Austin would know that, and all he needed to do was just pick off all the openings. So you know, it's once you've opened it and you've got big juicy tiles, you can just pick off the 30s and 40s easily.
Yeah, well, Austin really needed to just score and keep scoring and not really try and worry about anything else. Because if he starts worrying about, oh yeah, there's this opening, if he starts playing overly defensive, which you can end up doing, if Lewis gets the lucky tiles, gets the bonuses in places, Austin's probably then not scored enough. So, but he's been really fortunate that he's drawn the bonuses and he's just kept scoring. Yeah. And Lewis has just been either level pegging or slightly behind or slightly ahead, and that's just not enough for him to win this game and win the tournament. So, yeah, he's probably thinking, maybe I shouldn't have lost the last game by so much. And Austin will not be regretting playing Town Man.
Well, Austin will probably play WOT, W-O-T, and take out the F. And obviously, Lewis has got Oceanid in 2 places. So I would say Austin is going to block the S.
Really, it doesn't matter what Austin does. He's got he has a 200-point cushion basically, almost a 250-point cushion on the tournament.
Even harsher, he's taken out the R row as well. Oh.
Yep.
Heard the knife.
Austin can be so defensive now, it will hurt. And that is the Oceanid that scores the most points, but unfortunately it blocks everything. And being that there were only 8 tiles in the bag, Lewis had no hope. He's just going for, picking up the little points of spread that he can right now. And I'm not going to pronounce the bonus that Austin has on his rack because I don't think that's very nice.
I can't read the rack.
EOOFPRT.
Okay. Very nice. Will it go?
On this board, nah.
No.
Austin doesn't care. He's won the game, he's won the tournament. He can chill.
Yeah.
He could even stop scoring if he wants, of all things.
He could play 40 and if for a nice score. Bottom left. He would rather play footer though. Get rid of the extra tile, chance of going out. Yeah, footer is a far better game.
But even better, 4-pet.
Yeah, 4-pet, of course.
Still knows his 4-letter words.
Yeah.
I mean, his 6-letter words.
Yeah.
It's only because it starts with the word 4.
Mm-hmm. So what does 4-pet mean then?
Oh, but Austin has a bonus, a playable bonus. He could rub salt in the wounds of Lewis here.
So
through the O of knobs, he has a foot rope.
What? Lovely. Rope-a-dope.
Now, come on, Austin, make your opponent feel more pain and misery.
Foot rope. It sounds a very implausible sort of word. Foot rope.
Let's see if I can find a definition for it. Foot rope.
It's probably what you think it is.
The part of a bolt rope sewed to the lower edge of a sail, or the rope rigged below a yard for crew members to stand on. Okay. It's a ship thing.
Yay! Excellent. So a foretop and a foot rope are both nautical things.
But Austin is neither a doctor nor a sailor, it seems.
Ah.
Maybe he needs a change of career. But he won't care that he's missed the bonus and the chance at a 600-point game. Who cares? He's won the tournament. He can't have done better than that. And of course, Lewis has just got to play out. You know, an old MacDonald is not going to do him any good on his rack.
No, indeed.
E-I-E-I-O.
Dude.
I mean, there's no analysis to really do here for Lewis. He can play to the best of his ability if he can work out, all this perfect end game, the way to maximise spread. But, he's lost the tournament.
Shame. I think both players are fantastic. It's been a pleasure to watch.
Someone had to lose, though. And it just turns out today it was Lewis's turn to fail.
Yeah.
Or fall short. Not really fail as such.
Definitely not.
It's unfortunate there's no analysis here. I mean, what do we talk about now? Maybe we should just say, first of all, congratulations, Austin, if it hasn't been apparent from the way the game has gone. Austin wins.
What can you say? There's no exotic 9-letter words around AR.
Yeah, and even then it wouldn't score enough. I mean, maybe there's like an 11-letter word, but nah. I'm sure Quackle would have found it if there was.
Yeah, I pronounce it Quackle.
I don't know why I pronounce it differently. Maybe I just pronounce it like cackle, so it ends up like Quackle.
Oh yeah, good point.
Because Quackle sounds a bit weird as well.
It does. Just saying.
Or maybe I am saying Quackle and I have no idea what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just a word to me. I don't care. And, Quackle isn't a real duck, so I don't care. And that's it. The game is over. Words have happened, and Austin has once again kicked Lewis out of the chance of winning a tournament.
Over OW would have just saying.
252, yeah. 328. Oh, yes, 324. So that's 339.
Yep.
354.
Yep.
432.
Yes.
461.
Yep.
Thank you, Jessica. That was really fun.
I make it fun by saying silly things.
No, it's good.
Yes.
219.
Yep.
267.
Yep.
283.
Yep.
But while the players have agreed their scores, it's definitely been great to be a part of more streaming once again. We've had a lot of streaming recently.
Yep.
Always a good thing to see.
55.
Yep.
565.
Yep.
We need more people like Craig to be able to set it up and do it. So maybe
Yeah, I think you do that.
maybe if we can get some sort of system so that we can do it more regularly, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I would love to stream tournaments on Craig's setup, but I can't afford, that kind of
Much else?
equipment.
No, I see it. Take your point. It's not expensive stuff, but it's.
Yeah, it's not expensive, but what kind of student straight out of university has 600-700 quid to spend on technology?
Absolutely. Well, I have two daughters just at university, and it's a nightmare. So yeah.
And ideally, it would be nice if the APSP could fund equipment, could fund something.
I think you're right. I think it will be a very forward-thinking thing for the APSP to be able to set up a sort of a streaming setup.
Mm-hmm.
Very good use of funds, I think.
Government
Yeah, just store it in my bedroom for future.
Yeah.
But of course, while we talk about other things, we should once again congratulate Austin for a job well done. He dominated this game from start to finish, giving Lewis no chance to build up the lead that he needed to clinch the tournament.
Yeah, that's about right. Good assessment.
And now they're destroying the board so Lewis doesn't have to look at it anymore.
Oh, is that why he's doing it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, who wants to look at that board anymore?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
So with that, I guess I'll just head off and have some food or something.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And the tournament is actually finishing about 15 or 20 minutes early because of our excellent tournament director and computer operator. So that's James Burley and David Wilson. They've done a fantastic job with the tournament. Thanks, Jessica.